And I also would like to thank you for all of you for joining this amazing webinars related to printing, inks, proofing, and what type of challenges we can face in our press rooms, and how can we tackle these solutions. So hopefully, at the end of the sessions, we will take the questions and answers, and you will have you will gain lot of knowledge, lot of ideas about after this webinars. So let's start webinars. A brief introduction about myself as a speaker. So I'm working as a director technical sales for CPPX Global Middle East and North Africa. I'm certified international professional trainer from SCI USA, member of INPA USA, AVITA, FTA Europe, and EFIA. So my background is the polymer chemistry. So, and I finished a diploma in supply chain management. And then I'm also author of a number of research papers and technical books. So here you can see two books like We Will Shine with Flying Colors and Test Your Printing Knowledge. I also worked in national and multinational companies for more than 12 years, and my whole background is related to printing and packaging. Last 5 years, I'm providing technical trainings, consulting services in Europe, Asia, and Middle East. So this is a brief introduction about myself. So today I'm going to lead these webinars. So before moving to our further contents, so first of all, we have one question: why correct printing and proofreading is so important? Because due to the improper ink proofing system or due to wrong practices in the ink rooms, so we can face a lot of challenges. We can face ink adjustment, lot of ink adjustments on printing press. We can face machine downtime, color variation, lot of rejection from customers, so and material waste. And if remember, if we are doing the right ink proofing and calibrating our proofing machines with our printing machines, so we can reduce ink adjustment on press up to 90%, machine time up to 70%, and color variation up to 85%, and material waste up to 70%. So why correct printing ink proofing is important? Very important questions. Because if we have correct printing inks proofing, so we can enhance the press room efficiencies. Definitely this will impact on press room efficiencies, reduce printing related defects online as well as offline. So reduce the machine downtime, more labels press time, and product quality consistency, able to achieve higher quality. Repeatability can be maintained through and from job run to run and from job to jobs, and correct color proofing or a printing inks proofing also enhance the customer retention and will help you when your reputation will be very good in the markets. You will have a less lead time, you will have a better quality, you will have mm, like efficient system. So definitely you will gain some new customers. So another question, what do you think about the printing inks proofing? Is it related to printing inks only or maybe related to others? So, no. Uh, Printing inks proofing is not only related to the printing inks, it is also related to the printing substrates. Then, quality control of printing inks, quality control of the flexoplate, analogs, and cylinders. What engraved cylinders, what type of cylinder we are using in our press rooms, what type of analogs we are using. So this ink proofing is also related to and standardization of pre-press and press variables. So this is very important. Then another questions, printing inks proofing and challenges. What are the common challenges that we face in the our press rooms? In press rooms, we face multiple type of challenges. We face color variations. Sometimes we are not getting the right trapping. We are not getting the right delta E values. We are not getting the density values. We are not getting the print contrast, or we are not getting the gray balance. So this is very important. Like here you can see this is the required samples, and when we have a poor color proofing system, so we can have achieve this type of print on printing machines. Then another challenge, machine downtime. I remember there was one customer in my regions, so I visited many times. So he told me, oh, when we are conducting the new job approval on machines, when we are running the new job and new colors on the machines, we have more than 200 like 200 minutes time, machine downtime. So it's too much. So we if we don't have a right printing ink proofing system in our press rooms, we can face a lot of machine downtime. We can face material rejection from the customers, and then color approval waste like ink, paper, glacier or solution, what type of solution we can use this one. So this is a very important, and these are the challenges, these are the effects that we can face in our press rooms if we don't have a right printing inks proofing system. So, first of all, moving to the printing inks proofing systems or proofing instruments, or what type of instruments we required, and so we need to understand the printing inks compositions. Remember, each printing inks, either you are using for offset, you are using for flexographic, you are using for rotogravure. So every inks based on four components like pigments that provide the color to the inks, binders that provide the binding abilities to the inks, binding properties to the inks with substrate, solvents that work as a carrier in the printing inks, additives that enhance the properties of printing inks. So if we are using water-based inks, so water-based ink is also containing four components: additives, pigments, binders, solvents, and additives. Similarly, the solvent-based ink is also based on four components: pigments that provide the color to the inks, binder that provide the binding properties to the inks, water that work as a carrier that help to dilute or to dissolve all these other three components, and additives. So when we talk about the ratio, so we are using the ratio from 2 to 8% for additives, water 30 to 50%, then binder 10 to 30%, and pigment 5 to 15%. So this is a composition of inks. Then ink specification data. So remembers, when you are going to make a proofing system, when you are going to m- m- implementing the proofing system in your ink room, so you must control the quality control. You must have a correct quality control system for your printing inks. So when we are talking about the printing inks, there are number of variables, number of parameters we need to measure for printing inks, like what type of physical appearance, maybe some hard containing some hard ink particles, maybe some uh, very fine particles. So viscosity, maybe sometime high viscosity, maybe sometime low viscosity. So density, then solid contents are very important. We need to monitor for solid content for each coming batch. Pigments, so particle size, what type of particle is it, less than 7 or less than 5 or more than 7 or 5. So if remember, if the more than 7 5 or more than 7, so this will impact on your printing process. Or so because the analogs are engraved cylinders, they have a cup like shape. So if the particle size is bigger than the volume of the analogs, or bigger than the cell volume of a engraved cylinder, so, these particles will not be moved into the cells. So this, if the particle size are bigger of inks and the volume of analog cells are smaller, the particles, the ink will not go into the analogs, and analogs will not be able to transfer the inks to the flexo plate. So this is very important to monitor particle size. Then adhesions. What type of adhesions basically our inks has? Gloss is more than 75 or less than 75 for each batch yield heat resistance. And if you are printing on BOPP, you also need to measure the heat resistance. Then strength reduction, very important. Sometime you strength is a very important. What type of strength reduction you have for your inks? If your strength reduction is not similar, like variable, sometime up, sometime down, so you can face problem. So in your press rooms for color variations, for so you cannot standardize your ink formulation. Then reducer, what type of reducer you are your supplier is recommending to you, or what type of reducer you are using for each batch. Then are you filtering your inks? This is also very important. What type of filtration mesh you are using? Are you filtering, having a filtration system with 100 mesh or 200 mesh or 300 mesh? So then color difference, what type of color difference you have for your printing inks for each coming batch? So you need to standardize all these parameters for printing. Another, press variables. Because without standardization of these press variables, you cannot do the perfect printing inks proofing. We we also standardize some analogs parameters, like who is a manufacturer for analogs? Zikr or maybe Apex, or who is manufacturer for then analogs base material, stainless steels, aluminium, like mild steel. Coating thickness, what is the coating thickness of the analogs? Then coating hardness, analogs roughness, what is the circumference of analogs? Like for example, the analogs that we are using on our system should in our proofing machines should have a similar analogs. Then cell shape, if our proofing machines has cell shape, maybe hexagonal, so our printing machines also should have a same cell shape, cell depth, and cell screen. Similarly, Flexoplate, who is manufactured either via Flint or DuPont or Dentex. So this is also very important to standardize your Flexoplate. What type of relief depth you are using? Maybe your proofing machines has a smaller relief depth, but your machines Flexoplate has a high relief depth. So how you will get your correct printing? Tackiness is also very important, like the tackiness, the hardness. So all these parameters for doctor blades, for flexo plates, for analogs, or for film and paper boards should have a same on printing machines as well as our proofing machines. So this is a very important. If we are going to consider doctor blade, like doctor blades, doctor blade width, doctor blade edge, tip shape, angles, roughness, width, edge thickness, tensile strength, blade pressures, and hardness. So if the blade hardness that you are using on your flex, that you are using on your proofing machines is different from the printing machines, so definitely you will not be able to achieve the good results. So this is also very important. Then, what type of equipments you have in your ink room to making a good proofing, to standardize your proofing systems? Do you have a gloss meters? Do you have a flexi proofer 100? Do you have a sun testers? Do you have a viscosity curve, Zahn curve? Or if you are offset printer, so you must have a offset printing machines. And if do you have a right tables? So this is a very important to have right equipments in your ink lab for correct proofing. So choose a right. How can you choose a right proofing instrument for inks? Here we can see scraper. I visited a one customers. Just what they are mixing the colors with scraper, and they are providing after mixing with developing the formula, and they are mixing on large scale, and they are supplying to the printing machines. No, scrapers scraper doesn't provide the right amount of inks, doesn't provide and the right pressures, doesn't provide the right impression to the print. So make sure you are when you are have a proofing, you are working in the printing press rooms, you must have a machines like if you are offset or lithographic printers, so you must have a paste ink proofers. And this, remember, I visited one customer, they have a rotogravier proofing machines. They have a rotogravier proofing machines, and this rotogravier proofing machines they are using for flexographic inks. They are using for formulation. They are developing. They are proofing the colors for flexography. How is it possible? Rotogravier and flexographic both are different. So remember, so remember, if you have flexographic, then you should have in your ink room Flexi Proofer 100, because this machine is totally similar to flexographic machines, containing the flexo plates, Analox roller, Dr. blade, and impression roller, and also speed. The speed is similar to flexo machines. And if you have gravier printing press rooms, then you must have a RK proof or gravier proof for machines. So this is very important. You cannot like you cannot make a good proof for proofing, printing inks proofing for a rotogravier system with paste ink proofer. No, you cannot make a printing inks proofing for rotogravier with flexi proofer 100. No, or so this is very important to choose the correct uh, proofing machines according to your printing process. So this is very important. Then standardize your proofing equipments with press. Calibrate your proofing equipments with your press. Very important. Here on left side, you can see one sample, and this sample is a required sample from the customers. And the right sample that on the right side. So this is the sample that we achieved after the proofing, after the using of the proofing machines on printing machines. So when we brought the inks on the printing machines, so we did not achieve the same color as required by customers. And the delta E difference was 6.87. What is expected reasons? Hmm. Then what we did, we find out the reasons, what's behind it. Flexoplates, DuPont. On proofer, there was a flexoplate made by DuPont, and on press, they were using the Flint. The hardness of flexi-proofer plate was 75, and the hardness of the press flexoplate was 70. And the thickness of the proofer plate was 1.64, and the thickness of the press flexoplate was 1.7. That is one of the reasons. Analogs rollers, the customer was making the proofing on proofing of the printing inks in the ink lab in Kinchan with 140 cells per linear inch. But actually, on printing machines, he was printing on 300, he was using the 315 cells per linear inch analogs. Paper 70 GSM Stora Enso paper, and then on machines, the paper was same. Another reason we found there, the adhesive tape TISA, they were using the TISA tape on proofer, but on press they were using the to make process more cost effective, to make process more cheaper. So they were using the local tape. So these were the reasons that caused the printing color too light. So this is also very important when you are making a proofing system in your ink lab, the plate thickness, the plate hardness, the plate thickness, plate hardness, and the plate manufacture should be the same as you will use on printing machines. The analogs roller should be same in proofer machines as the analogs ruler you will use on printing machines. The paper should be same as paper you will use on printing machines. The adhesive tape should be same as you will use on printing machines. So don't compromise and standardize your proofer variable with printing machines variable. Very important. Standardize your proofing equipments with the press. We have flexographic process. We have a printing we have flexographic press room. Sorry. So we have flexographic press rooms. We have a flex proof for 100 in our ink rooms, and we have printing machines. So make sure we are using the same paper boards on our proofing machines for proofing the colors, and that we will use for printing on printing machines. We are using the same flexo plate of same manufacturer that we will use on our printing machines. If we are using flexo plate of DuPont, so in our printing machine, on our printing job, we also should use DuPont. If we are using Dentix, then we also should use a Dentix. Very important. Analogs, what type of analogs we are using on our flexo proofer? So same analogs we should use during the printing. Like for example, we have the flexi proofer manufacturer or supplier supplying multiple analogs. They are supplying 140, 200, 300. So similarly, the printing machine suppliers providing also supplying the multiple type of analogs. So we need to align the analogs of printing machine with the flexi proofer. So in order to make good proofing, correct proofing, to standardize our proofing equipments with printing machines. Then if you have a proofing machine, like if you have a rotogravure printing process, so then what you need to do? You need to periodically inspect your proofing machine. Very important. If the roller is not working fine, maybe the surface of roller is not good, maybe there is some vibration in your uh, rollers. So check the hardness of your rollers. Check the blade conditions. Check the plate conditions. What type of plate your proofer has. Check the speed of your proofers. Make the checklist. If still you are facing a machine downtime, you are facing a color variation, or your ink proofer is not and you are unable to calibrate your ink proofer with your printing machines. So check the condition of your proofer, hardness of your roller, plate uh, of your your proofer. Then check blade condition of your proofer. Then check the speed of your proofer. I visited one customers and he has more than 10 years old proofing machine. When I saw him, when I asked him, "Can I visit your ink lab?" He told me, "Yes, you can visit us." Do you have proofer machine? He told me, "Yes, I have proofer machine." When I visited this customer, I found there are a lot of scratches on the plates, and due to the lot of cleaning with wrong solvents, the roller was surface was not smooth and totally damaged surface of the rollers. So I said, "How you are going to make a uh, proofing? How you are using this proofing?" "Oh no, just we are like we are like considering the average proofing from these machines." So this is a very important. Then choose the right proofing instrument for your. Leave the conventional way of new product developments. Leave the conventional way. Adopt the change. Like here from when we are developing the new products, we are first we are printing, then we are bringing to the lamination machine, then we are bringing to the slitting machine. W- Why we are not using the VCML proofing machine? This VCML proofing machine speed is from 90 to 100 meter per minute, and this machine has like a three web width, and three web width is more like suitable for customers. Instead of making slitting, thus making the proofing on 300 meter 300 web width, and with same machines, not big, this is not big machines, you with same machines you can make printing, you can make lamination, you can make coating. So this is also very important. If you are printing, maybe when you are developing the new products and customer required maybe 500 300 kg, and maybe you are wasting 300 kg, but if and on same you practice, you will do on lamination machines. So better to buy VCML machines, and this VCML machines will help you to reduce your printing material rejections. Printing cost will help you reduce your lamination cost. So make sure you have good quality of printing inks. Like here you can see solid particles in the printing inks. So how you will deal with these printings? You must filter these inks before supplying to the press, before supplying to the proofing system. So you must have a correct filtration machines, because correct perfect filtration machine not only improve the dot gains during the printing, not only provide the good quality printing, but also protect and it locks rollers, cylinders, glacier, doctor blade from the damaging. Also reduce your material waste, machine downtime, and flexo plates. So I remember one customer implemented this strategy, and the return on investment he achieved within 2 months. Before, he always has a lot of rejection from customer, maybe 400 like 2 metric ton, 3 metric ton rejection comes because of sometime doctor blade, sometime misprint. So when he implemented this filtration system in his ink room, so he was able to receive minimum rejection from the customers. Another, use proper equipments for mixing. Like if you are mixing the gray colors, if you are making the light gray or any light colors, so how is it possible you will mix with the wood stick? No, it's not possible. I remember one customer, he is running the short order run like 1000, 2000 kgs. But when he is printing this one, he is wasting 500 kgs for color adjustment due to wrong color proofing and improper mixing. So buy correct equipments, buy ink mixer to mix properly instead of mixing with stick. Very important. Then manage your color values according to color space values. So any inks that you are receiving from your customers, from your supplier, and make sure that density values are L values or A values or B values or tolerance is nearest to the standard color space values. Very important. So make sure before ink proofing in ink room, the inks are aligned with ISO 2847, ISO 212647, Ethiopia Swiss Ordinance, or ROHS standards. And the law ink formulation, because if you are you have right proofing system, your proofing equipments are calibrated with your printing machines, but if you don't have right formulation system, so it means all these practices are useless. So install some good dispensing system in your ink room that will help you to improve your productivity, to reduce reduction in finished inventory, cleaner and safer work, reduction of waste associated, and weighing accuracy. So thank you very much. If you have any questions, so you can ask questions. So I will be happy to assist you. And if you need any technical support for ink room calibrations, and for ink room calibrations or proofing systems, or how to calibrate proofing equipments, how to calibrate your proofing equipments with the printing press, how to standardize your flexoplate, any locks rollers or film and paper, so you can write to us. You can write to Tatiana. So at the rate of info at the rate of cpexglobal.org, or you can write to us, and or you can so we will be happy to assist you to standardize your printing process. So regarding the equipments, if you have any questions, you can write to RK Print Instruments. So they will assist you, and if you need any technical support, any recommendation from related to printing equipments, proofing system, so our team, our expertise will be happy to assist you. So thank you very much. Have a nice day, and waiting for your feedback. So Tatiana will share the feedback. Tatiana, our colleague, will share the feedback form and this presentation with all of you. And if you have any question, you can write to us. And if you have, please rate us in your feedback form. How was this webinar? Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Have a nice weekend.